Hello, gorgeous. Welcome to HG Radio, everything beauty, cancer, and inspiration. Here is your co-founder and host, Kim Becker.
Hello, gorgeous. Thank you for joining us today. I'm your host, Kim Becker, and this is Hello, Gorgeous, everything beauty, cancer, and inspiration on Society Bites Radio, social interaction for the mind and soul. Our guest today is Marielle Shuster. To say that Marielle always wanted to be a stylist would be putting it lightly. For as long as she can remember, hair was her thing. She began her career at the young age of 16 as a front desk receptionist in 1998. Her dreams sent her to cosmetology school in Grand Rapids, Michigan, where she graduated first in her class. Mar worked behind the chair for 6 years while attending Aquinas College for business. It was important to her to have a balance between her creativity and her passion for understanding the biz. Mar jumped on the opportunity to purchase an established salon, Coiffeteria, in 2006. As a salon owner, she has mentored, encouraged, and developed her team to become their very best, and has instilled the message that life is simply too short not to sparkle. Marielle is on a mission to help people take care of themselves so that they can better care for others and ultimately flourish. Hi, Mar, and welcome to the show.
Hey, Kim. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor to be here.
Oh my gosh, I am so excited to be able to talk with you and to share all the information that you have and the knowledge that you have, but mostly your passion and the connection of us and how we got the opportunity to meet. So it's so funny, I was reading your bio. And so when I graduated from high school, I got a part-time job, and I too was a receptionist. But when I graduated from high school, my intention was to go to law school. And so when I was at school and working as this receptionist, the girls were like, you should go to beauty school because then you could pay your way through law school just by cutting hair, and you would never have to work for a fast food chain. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that sounded wonderful. So I enrolled in beauty school after I graduated from high school. And then the rest is history. Like, I never went back.
Because it's the best job ever.
It is the best job ever. It is absolutely the best job ever. And so it was awesome being able to read that. I didn't realize like how parallel, and I bought an existing salon, although ours was a tanning salon. And we evolved it into a regular salon. So again, it's kind of cool because I didn't realize that our lives and our careers were so parallel. So tell me more about your salon. Like, what kind of services do you offer? How many stylists do you have?
Okay, so our salon, we have recently become a full-service salon. So there's 13 of us, 10 stylists. We do it all. So our main focus is hair. So we do hair color, haircuts, extensions, etc. We also do KPS facials and KPS slimsage. We do lashes, and we also do nails.
Awesome. And so I love that you are full service, which is how we became connected with Hello Gorgeous, which we'll talk about that. And you mentioned KPS, which is my absolute favorite skincare line. I love KPS.
Isn't it the best?
I truly cannot imagine life without it anymore.
Right.
So you've been a business owner for 13 years. So what really has been the biggest challenge for you? Like, I loved when I owned my salon, and we would get this 3:00 buzz in the salon where all the chairs were full and the energy was amazing. And that was my happy place. Like, the energy, like I said, the energy just fueled me, but there were pitfalls too. And, there are things that you have to deal with as a owner that you don't necessarily as a stylist. So what are some of the biggest challenges that you've had as a business owner, and what solutions have you come up with to combat those?
Oh, great question. Great question. It always depends on the day. My husband and I joke that, buying the salon was the best and worst thing we've ever done. But no, overall, it has been absolutely amazing. The few pitfalls, I think, are that being hairstylists, usually we're very loving and we wear our heart on our sleeve.
Yes.
And sometimes that it gets broken, and whether people do it intentionally or not, but, being around 13 years, you definitely, I don't know if you saw this, but there's, influxes of team members. Yes. And I think the hardest thing for me is when a team member leaves, maybe not on the best circumstances. And I'm really on a mission too, to let people know that, I mean, we as women need to stand behind each other, and it's okay to move on, but let's just, face it and be honest about it, because there is plenty of business and plenty of things, stuff out there for everyone.
Yes. Well, and I think that was the toughest thing too. It was just a never ending cycle, right? And I'm sure that you experienced that too. For me, I had done it all ways. Like I brought them in out of beauty school and I trained them, and then I would get the master stylist that came in with a clientele, and you would get them and you would train them and they would build up a clientele and then they would leave. And then you'd start the cycle all over again. But you just, I think that when you were in that, you just accept that's just how it's going to be. You know what I mean? That you'll have some of those that'll stay on for a while, but you're always going to have those people that it's just whatever. They've grown up, they've grown out, whatever that looks like.
Exactly. And I think the more you're in it, the more you accept that, it's not personal. Like, everyone wants to grow.
Well, and it's interesting. I'm actually delivering a talk tomorrow morning, and I this is a lesson that I've taught my team, because it is very difficult, and to hear the word no and to have somebody leave like that. But I've come up with this saying, and I use it all the time, and that is, no's not personal, it's protection.
Yes. Yes. And I've also found too. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
And haven't you found? I mean, anytime there is a transition, like, doors, something better is always coming around the corner.
That's right. That's exactly right. But, it's one of those things where we found that when we had stylists too, like we would try and help them. I'm with you. We're females and we're caregivers, and we want to take these girls underneath our wings and we want to grow them. And when it gets to the point where they can't use what we've got anymore, or they're not willing to accept the help that we're giving them, and then they leave, that's when it's okay. Because then I'm just kind of wasting my time and effort and energy into like this black hole that's going nowhere. But it's hard. I think, you get attached to these people, they become family. And so I think that was one of the toughest things for me as a business owner.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. So tell me more about your salon. So what do you feel sets your salon apart from other salons in your area?
Obviously, I mean, we think, we give the best service possible, but what we really try to do is love on our guests and to make them feel at home and welcome and, just want to be with us. And that, I think, we have really mastered. We have the best team, and their love for their guests shows. And I love it when I see, sometimes we'll have guests just stop by to show us their outfit for the day. Or we had one, bless her heart, she was elderly and didn't have any family left in the area, and she was having a hard time with figuring out her phone bill. So she came in and let us help her. So, I mean, which I love. And then one of the best is one of our guest sons, which he is now in college, and he would kill me if he heard this, but he was a young guy, probably like 6 or 7, and he got lost, but he recognized the salon because his mom was always there, and he stopped by the salon so he could call his mom, and
oh my gosh. Isn't that, this industry is like no other industry. The relationships that you build with people and with the situations like that would never happen in a big, corporate setting. That's awesome.
Right.
What a great story. What a great story. We had a salon. Ours was very similar. The tagline of our salon was where everyone knows your name, and kind of that same kind of feeling, right, where you knew people. And so we had a gal come in, and she was going to be her daughter was getting married, so she was the mother of the bride. So she brought in her mother of the bride dress, and she put it on in the salon. And then we had like a boulevard where the streets went east and west, and there was a boulevard in between. She went out to the boulevard and had us take a look at her to make sure that she didn't need a slip with that dress. And, all the places that they could go to get that information, but for them to trust us with important decisions like that, this business is just like nothing else. I just love it. I
know. Yeah. You meet the best people and find the best relationships. It's just so awesome. And I mean, how blessed are we to be in an industry where we get to, do this?
I agree. So tell me more. So I understand that you used to work for Aveda. And so tell me about that, and then how it came to be that you actually bought your salon.
Oh, yes. Great question. Yes. I worked for Aveda for about 8 years after college. I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with, whether I was going to, continue and go back to full-time behind the chair or go into sales. And I decided to try it with Aveda. And I started in sales in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and became a color educator. And then over time moved into management position and oversaw Michigan and Northern Ohio. And loved every minute of it. I loved Aveda. I loved what they stood for. And I loved, meeting all the people. I was in my element. And it wasn't until I had a family and young kids that it kind of got to be too much for me. And it was only because there was so much travel.
Right.
So my last position, like I was saying, was regional manager. And my husband and I were trying to figure out what I could do as my next step because I knew I needed to work outside the home, but the travel was just a little bit too much. So on a week away from my family at a sales meeting, out of the blue, total God thing, Jennifer from Coiffeteria called and said that they were going to sell the salon and asked if I would be interested in looking at it.
Wow.
So, yeah, and I'd known that salon. I mean, they were one of my first accounts. So I'd known it since it was really just in like one room and only 3 stations.
Wow. And so you've grown it to 13 stylists.
Yes. So, yeah.
Wow. That's awesome. Well, and again, that's a parallel. And I too loved it. So I was an educator for Fermizi. And it's the same thing, love to be able to do the travel, love visiting other salons because I could always bring back ideas that I saw in these other salons. But it gets to be a lot after a while, especially when you've got a family. So you have 2 children, correct?
Yes.
And how old are they now?
Now, my daughter is a senior and my son is a freshman. So I've got 2 high schoolers.
Oh my
which
gosh.
Is crazy.
Well, I know. And you blink, you can't even believe, like people always say, oh, high school goes so fast. And you're like, yeah, whatever. No, high school really goes fast.
Yeah, they weren't lying. I really thought they were.
I know. So I want to let's talk a little bit about Hello Gorgeous and how did you hear about Hello Gorgeous and how did you get involved with Hello Gorgeous?
Oh my gosh. That was another like total God thing. It like our mutual faves, KPS.
Yes.
They are actually located in Grand Rapids, Michigan as well. So Natalie and Ron, the owners, actually introduced me to Hello Gorgeous. And at that time, like I was saying, we had just started a salon renovation. And I quickly got on the website, checked you guys out, and was like, oh my gosh, I have to apply. And I applied without my blueprint and just said that I was doing the renovation. And then somehow you came to town. I think it was like 2 months later, and I got to meet you in person.
Yes.
And it just made me all the more excited. And then not only from Natalie and Ron, but then it ended up that one of our old accounts when I did work for Aveda, Julene, was, part of your training team. And so It was just so many connections that I just knew it was right. And it was just meant to be. And luckily we made it through renovation, and then we were able to become a certified affiliate. So it's been the best.
Has it been a year or almost 18 months?
It has been 1 year. Well, 1 year in September.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So a little over. That's awesome. And so, one of the things that I found with this whole program that we've developed going into the salons, I feel like it's brought salon teams closer together. Like when you go and you help this woman with pancreatic cancer that doesn't know whether she's going to live long enough to see her daughter graduate from high school, there's not any of those little nitpicking things about somebody eating a lean cuisine out of the freezer. Those things seem to kind of go by the wayside when you come collectively as a team together to help this woman with cancer. So what has this meant for your team to be involved with Hello Gorgeous?
Oh my gosh. It's again, parallel. That is one thing that we talked about today, how it has brought our team closer. So that was number 1. And then number 2 for us, because as far as my team goes, like I'm kind of like the old lady. So we've all been touched by cancer, but you think you're invincible when you're in your 20s.
That's right.
And, to see these women and their courage and really get to talk to them when they're, getting their pedicure and it's just, I don't know, there's just something so heartfelt and the connection that's made that it's really indescribable until you go through it. And it's just been amazing. And it's just, I always knew that I wanted to do something to give back. And I love hair, I love like the cool part of it, but it's so amazing to be in an industry where we're actually licensed to touch someone, and the power of touching and healing it has with someone. It just is, I don't know, it's just something so special to be a part of.
Well, and I think, that's what I had said from the beginning too. As stylists, we've got this amazing gift. We're licensed to touch, right? And not many people have that license to be able to touch these people. And I think that touch is really important when you're going through cancer, because people can be a little ignorant, if they hug somebody with cancer, maybe they're afraid they're going to get it. But, we're able to just kind of open our arms and actually embrace them and bring them in, and just, it so is in line with what you said, what you do for your guests, right? You love on them. That's what that's what sets you apart, is you love on your clients.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, what has been your favorite makeover so far?
Oh my gosh, that is such a difficult question, because they've all been so special in their own way. But I go back to the first one, and I don't, it was the first one. We had, all the support from Hello Gorgeous. Amy was there, and, we actually had the news there, and we didn't know what we were walking into. And it was just, I don't know, it was just a complete high. And the transformation of our Hello Gorgeous gal, Brenna was her name, and she was, of course, they always think that they don't deserve it, which, I mean, is just crazy to me. And then, oh gosh. So, and then we had the news there, and the
it was more than the news. Like, you have to go back and tell that whole story, because it wasn't just the news. Like, she was like crushing on this guy, right? Like, she watched this guy every morning. You got to tell that whole story.
Yeah, we didn't even know. Okay, so one of our stylists, her husband is a newscaster or an anchor, and so we were able to get Fox 17, our local news, to come and support and cover the story, which was amazing all in itself. But the biggest bonus was that our Hello Gorgeous gal had a crush on him and watched him every day.
Yes.
So by the end of the makeover, they were dancing.
Yes. So, and this did she leave the hospital to come to her makeover, or had she just gotten out of the hospital? I thought there was some sort of a correlation there with that one too.
Yes, I believe she had just gotten out. And, when she came in, like they taught us in our training, she was very exhausted, very tired, but she got the Hello Gorgeous makeover high by the end.
Yes. And that's what the amazing thing is. Like, you can't, the clothes, the physical difference you can see, but it's that internal difference that you have to be there in order to experience. It's like somebody turns a light on in her.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's the only way that I can describe it, because you see, the makeup and that kind of thing, but there's a brightness that shines from the inside of her that you wouldn't otherwise get to see. It's amazing.
It really is. And like, until you experience it, you wouldn't, I don't know if I would have believed it, but you can see it in their eyes and just like the brightness.
Yes. And that's just it. There is a brightness that's right. That's the only way that I can describe it. It's like you just flip this light switch on the inside of them. Well, I need to share this with you, because I don't think that you know about this. So we received a thank you note from a makeover that you did.
Oh, no, I didn't know about that.
Yeah. And so it says, "Dear Hello Gorgeous, the difference Hello Gorgeous makes is nothing short of legendary. I'm still smiling. I hope that you know that you will never forget I will never forget the great red carpet experience provided to me by Hello Gorgeous and your affiliate salon, Coiffeteria. My makeover and reveal made me feel so special and cared about. I'm humbled and grateful for your support of cancer patients. Thank you again, and God bless, Carolyn, Grand Rapids, Michigan."
Oh, oh my gosh. Yes, that brings,
Isn't that so cool? Like, we don't even realize the impact that we have on these people. And that was the first time that anybody has ever used the word legendary. Like, I read that. I'm like, Hello Gorgeous is legendary in somebody's eyes. You know what I mean? But it's amazing at how special we make these women feel. It's just, I can't, it's indescribable. And what I love about it more than anything is the fact that it doesn't matter where it's done. So it means so much for me to get a note like that about a makeover that you did, because she felt that way and I wasn't there.
Right.
I wasn't there. You are the face of Hello Gorgeous in your community. You have done such an amazing job with your team and such an amazing job with the makeovers that you put on that you made her feel legendary. And I think that that's incredible. I think that that's just absolutely.
Oh, I love that. Yes. Oh, thanks to you. I'm so thankful for your vision.
Well, it's kind of like what you said about your salon, right? It's the best and the worst thing that's happened. There isn't any worst part about it, except it's just so big sometimes and so daunting. Like I'll say to God, really? You think I can do this? Shouldn't you have picked somebody else that you think could pull this off, And so, but no, and I'm grateful because, again, I'm grateful that you and your team are willing to be able to participate in this, and that we get to bring this to the Grand Rapids area. I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful.
Oh, us too, and we're so proud to be a part of it.
So tell me this then. So you do Hello Gorgeous and you take care of these women with cancer. So what is the thing that you do for yourself for self-care?
Well, I love to kickbox and hit things.
And that's probably a really good frustration getter outer too.
Yes, it is. No, I love to exercise. So a couple years ago, I had some health scares of my own and realized that I wasn't getting any younger, and decided it was time to start moving.
Awesome.
And it's amazing how that does help.
And how many days a week do you do the kickboxing?
I try for 3, and but I'm real now. Like in the beginning I would get upset with myself if I couldn't or something. But my goal is 3. I do stuff, at home with home workouts as well if I can't make it, and I just do the best I can.
Awesome. And so tell me this then, what advice do you have for working moms that are trying to find that work-life balance? Because, you just don't go in and do an 8-to-5 job. I mean, people don't understand that owning a salon is daunting, and trying to raise a family and have a healthy marriage. So what advice do you have for working moms that are trying to find that balance?
Oh, that is such a great question. Okay. So I've got, 3 little steps, I think. 1, don't be afraid to ask for help.
Oh, yeah.
So whether it's from your family, friends, or your team at work, most people want to help and love to be needed.
Agreed.
Let's see. 2, make sure you take time to breathe. So I find sometimes if I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'll just kind of even if I'm doing a shampoo and how when you're, you might have, team members asking you questions, I guess, a lot of things going on, I'll just kind of take time to breathe and calm my mind a little bit. And then the other thing I'm trying to do is learn to say no.
That's huge, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. So as a pleaser, we want to say yes to everything, but sometimes yes is not doing a service to anyone. So make sure to say no to the things that are not really on your priority list.
It's so funny. So our big event, our big fundraiser for Hello Gorgeous is tonight, actually. And so this last 2 weeks, we've been moving and grooving. And so that's Trisha's motto right now is don't add, just subtract. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh. I think I'm going to copy that.
Yeah. Don't add, just subtract, So we've only got about 60 seconds. Give me one quick beauty tip that you can share with our audience.
Oh gosh. Let's see. Beauty tip, always smile and wear your lipstick.
Oh, always wear your lipstick. Always, no matter what, always put your lipstick on. Amen.
Hey, I have a confession. I put lipstick on for this phone call.
I did too.
Did you?
I just always feel better. It makes me feel better. That's right. Well, we're almost out of time, so I wanted to say thank you, Mar, for joining us today. I appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to share with the work that you do. If our audience has any questions or comments or would like to know more about our guest on our show today, feel free to reach out to me, Kay Becker at hellogorgeous.org. If you want more information about Hello Gorgeous, please visit our website at www.hellogorgeous.org. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and we invite you to download our mobile app. Thank you for joining us today on Hello Gorgeous, Everything Beauty, Cancer, and Inspiration. I'm your host, Kim Becker, and until next time, stay gorgeous.